Hello, and welcome back to Homework Hustle, the podcast that delves into the science and art of raising curious, confident kids and to better their academic development without the stress. I am Shubhada, the founder of Brainology.
Hello, I'm Sheetal, the co-founder of Brainology.
And we are here with another episode of Homework Hustle. And today's topic is special. We are discussing an important yet an often complex topic for parents. Concentration in children. The ability to focus on a task is something we all want our children to develop. It is crucial, not just for academic performance, but also for tackling real-life tasks. So, Sheetal, it is complicated. It's this most, slippery of things, even for us adults. I mean, not just for kids. But with kids, oh my God, let's not even get started. But rather, Sheetal, let's get started, please.
Now you're sounding complicated.
Yeah.
But Shubda, concentration is both a cognitive skill and more essentially, it's a life skill. This is a skill that helps us prioritize information, perform tasks correctly. So it's very important for a parent to understand how this entire mechanism works for the child.
Yes, I agree. And therefore, this episode. And today's episode is extra special because we have a guest on the show today, Savitha Rao. Hello, Savitha. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, so Savitha, dear parents, works in the space of nation building and is the author of Noise, a book that delves into the impact of noise on our health and crucially, our minds and our children's minds. So parents, Savitha is the founder of India Positive Citizen. So let's get to it. Parents, in today's episode, we will cover the following questions. Understanding attention spans in children and their ability to multitask. Can we improve attention spans and if so, how? What mistakes are we as supervising adults making that is making our own child distracted? Okay, Sheetal, let me start at a note about something that I'm very curious. There is a lot of hype around multitasking. At work, people almost wear it as a badge of honor. Can children multitask?
Of course, children can multitask, provided we set clear expectations and break the tasks into achievable goals. However, it's generally difficult for them because they don't fully grasp the concept of time and tend to be in the present moment. We need to guide them with pauses and clear transitions between tasks.
So essentially, you have to make it into a sequence of single tasks. That's correct. But that is pretty much how we adults work as well. Okay, Sheetal. Now, here is my next curiosity question. You've been an educator for 3 decades. If you recall, in our childhood, there was a lot of hype around the negative impact of TV. But most of our generation feels we turned out fine and perhaps the level of noise was unwarranted. This generation is seeing a larger hype, bigger noise around digital devices. So in your practical experience, have you observed a drop in attention span in kids over the past few years?
Yes, Shubhata, there is certainly an impact of digital media on concentration because children today, we find focusing that much lesser than
they are. You have seen the time reduce, okay?
And I feel that there has to be some discipline around the usage of digital devices, some digital device etiquettes. Apart from focus, it may be also affecting the social emotional development. Shubda, it's not just the digital media. We as adults should take some responsibility.
Okay, so it's beyond the stories, beyond the digital media.
Yes. We flood children with so much information. There is an information overload. And then the child's mind has been trained to keep on looking forward towards the next task
or the next class.
Yes. So there's a lot of crowding and fatigue of the mind which is setting in. In our effort to keep them constantly engaged, we just don't allow them enough time to sit back and think. We don't allow children to get bored.
There is too much structure in their environment.
And there is not enough time for them to spend time within themselves, to get bored. Boredom is actually the mother of creativity. So it's very, very important to pause. It's very important to declutter. That is what will set them thinking independently.
So this dance class to math class and math class to tennis lessons needs some reining in, no? Parents?
Yes.
Hold your horses there.
Ruko.
Okay, Sheeta. So now my next question. Can we make a significant difference to attention span? What are the key things that we should know about this?
See, we certainly could make certain differences and changes, but set realistic expectations. For children under 5, 2 to 4 minutes of focus is normal.
That is the amount of time that they can focus on a task.
Yes. And generally, I hear the term, my child is very hyper, being used very loosely.
At that age, it is actually 2 to 4 minutes.
And it's enough. Use exercises like sequencing, sorting, body balance to improve attention. Breaks with physical activities will also help refresh their minds. For ages 5 to 7, don't aim for more than 7 to 10 minutes.
That's the amount you should expect them to focus on a task.
Absolutely. Older children can concentrate longer, but not more than 40 to 45 minutes at a stretch.
So 1.5 hour, 2 hour study sessions are not happening.
Also, physical breaks are very, very crucial. Simple hand-body exercises always will help you realign and refocus your mind.
Parents, on this note, we have provided a downloadable link to some physical exercises in the show notes. These short physical exercises or brain breaks help bring back concentration. You can download them and use them in your next study session.
Yeah, and Shubha, other than this, let us not undermine the benefits of sleep. Very important.
Very important.
Play, and of course, a healthy diet. All these are a must.
Got it, Sheeta.
And this is where the effort needs to start.
Right. Okay. Now, Sheetal, what would you say are some of the common mistakes that we as adults or parents are making that may be contributing to the distraction that a child feels?
Overscheduling. Too many activities. You have only 24 hours in a day, out of which you have only 8 to 10 productive hours. And then you want to cramp it with this activity, that activity, this classes, those classes. Doesn't work. And when you want a task done with focus, it's important that declutter. Remove all the distractions around. No TV in the background, no mobile phones on the desk. And then even parent needs to be less distracted.
Let them focus and you also be focused. So clear the environment is what you are saying.
Clearly explain the task, explain the time frame.
We have developed in our previous session.
Yes.
So we have discussed.
Yeah. Also, I find that, we aren't appreciative enough. It's very important. Appreciation is a huge motivator. Pat your child on the back for their effort, not just when they are successful. Encourage internal validation. Children look out to the adult for validation.
So basically, if they're focused on a task, they should feel the satisfaction. And you should appreciate that.
Absolutely. They need to feel accomplished within themselves. And it will not happen overnight. Lastly, ensure tasks are age appropriate. In our bid to develop smart, successful kids, we tend to expose them to things that are way beyond their age. Over challenging them can lead to frustration, resistance, wandering minds.
So a little bit of let nature take its course. Nature does know better than us.
Absolutely.
Okay. When we talk about focus and distraction, we almost seem to think that this is something that is happening inside a child, or this is something that a child is not able to do. But we may be failing to see something here, that the child's distraction may be a reaction to the environment. And so we come to our next segment on this podcast. Is noise affecting your child's concentration? Now, intuitively, we know that yes, it does. Yes. But how deep is this problem? So, Savitha, we move to you. Tell me something, while you were writing your book on the noise, what was your most intriguing discovery about noise and focus in your research?
I think, Shubha, the realization or the perspective that our ears and brain never rest, even when you sleep. Your ears are always constantly collecting sounds and feeding them to the brain. So in a noisy environment, your attention is divided between the task at hand and the random sounds around you.
So essentially, the way we close our eyes, you're saying, for a bit of rest or, to bring the focus back, we can't do that with our ears. That's very, very interesting. The ears are all constantly listening and they're constantly feeding the brain. And therefore, I think what you're really saying is the only way to manage the distraction of noise is to reduce the noise in the environment.
Yes.
So, Savitha, given that a lot of us live in noisy cities, what level of noise is okay for kids? I mean, there is a lot of it that ultimately is not in our control. Also, at what level does it start affecting them?
See, for children, around 55 decibels is ideal. But in urban areas, 60 decibels may be more realistic. Beyond that is not advisable.
Okay, how do I translate this 55 or 60 decibels to something tangible in real life? How do I understand this?
You can download a decibel app which is available for Android and Apple phones. So you can measure the noise levels at home or anywhere for that matter. That's the simplest way to handle noise measurement. Having said that, 50 to 60 decibel is the level of a normal conversation between two people. So if the noise in the environment is beyond that, it may start distracting your child and it could start making them frazzled.
Okay, so essentially you're saying, be aware of what is the level of noise in your environment, and if you think you are at the level that it may be affecting, you need to take actions. But more importantly, the level at which the noise in your environment must be operating is the way we are talking now.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me how important it is to be aware of the level of noise in your environment.
It is very important to be aware of the noise, and this needs to be a collective effort. Sensitize everyone at home about noise. Don't have multiple gadgets on at home at the same time. For example, don't run the vacuum cleaner and the grinder and the TV all at the same time. Close windows and doors if you live near a busy road. Keep phones on silent during study time. Over a period of time, the children will get used to the quiet and start to focus better.
Okay. So, Savitha, another question, a curiosity question I have, is there a helpful noise? There is a lot of claim that is made about music, especially music and concentration. There are some schools who actually also play music. What would you recommend for children?
Yes, there is helpful sound as well for children and adults. Something called white noise, which acts like an audio blanket that masks disruptive sounds.
Okay. So that's the way to look at it. It's coming in between you and the harmful sounds.
Exactly. Nature sounds can be very calming and they help build a connection with nature, which is something we all need in the concrete jungles that we live in. If you use music and you think that it helps your child, remember that all children are different.
So it may help some children. It's not necessary that it will help all children. So you have to observe your child.
Yes. And even if you choose to use music, use only instrumental music, not songs or instrumental, which is a song-based instrumental, because that can divide attention. And I would like to add that develop this as a life skill. Expose them to the joy of quietness at home or when you travel. Over time, they will learn to appreciate and develop their own rhythm of creating a quiet space to focus on a task.
Oh, that's very interesting. So you're saying build this as a skill, the habit of getting into a quiet environment, seeing the effect it has on focus, and as they grow up, it will build into something that they do on their own. Okay, that's very, very interesting. So parents, if you would like to learn more about the impact of noise on our lives, Savitha's book, Noise in Our Nation, is available on noiseinournation.in and on amazon.in. A link to the book is also provided in the show notes below. Do check it out. And that brings us to the end of this very, very interesting episode. Thank you, Sheetal, and thank you so much, Savitha, for joining us. So if parents, you like this episode, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you are notified when a new episode is posted. You can also visit our website www.brinology.com, that is BRAINOLOGI.com, to see the kind of learning books we have for your child. You can also follow us on our Instagram handle Brinology1. It is an educational but a chilled out space for Harriet parents. Bye bye until next time.